Hey everyone, today we're back with another comparison video, and in this one we're going to be checking out the Evergoods CTB20 and the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro, which have been two of my favorite new releases of the past year. Both of these have been excellent tech and everyday bags, but there are some similarities and differences that you'll want to keep in mind if you're considering one of these bags to make sure that you find the one that's going to match up best with your needs. So really excited to dive in. Before doing so, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you'd like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, both of these have a pretty minimal appearance, which I'm a big fan of, but they are a little different. The CTB20 has a more rugged, outdoorsy vibe, which makes sense since this is designed to be more of a crossover pack, whereas the Transit Workpack Pro has a more modern, sleeker appearance, which I think is going to fit right into an office setting. And both of these I think are versatile bags that will work well for traveling, for exploring any sort of a city, and which one is going to be better for you will just depend on your aesthetic preferences or the environments that you might be taking them to. And then as far as the materials, both of these feel very solidly built. The CTB20 uses a 420 high tenacity nylon. I've been using this fabric on Evergoods' bags for a while. It's held up well. Feels like it's going to offer plenty of durability, weather resistance. You also have YKK zippers. With the Transit Workpack Pro, you have Bellroy's recycled Dura nylon, which also feels very durable, really nice. And with this one, you actually have the aqua guarded YKK zippers. So if you're a fan of the aqua guarded zippers, that's something to keep in mind. It does feel like it'll offer a little bit more peace of mind if you happen to get caught in some rain, but I know some people have mentioned that these tend to peel over the longer term. I still tend to lean more towards having the added protection. I haven't had as much trouble with the peeling, but I know that that is a concern, and the Evergoods zippers are still treated with DWR, so they're gonna offer a nice amount of weather resistance regardless. To me, the nylon on the Transit Workpack Pro feels slightly more rugged, but really both of these are bags that are gonna be with you for a long time to come. And then continuing along the exterior, they both have very minimal branding. With Evergoods, you have the nice sort of checkbox logo here down at the bottom with the Velcro backing so you can customize it with patches. And then on the Bellroy side, you just have the small Bellroy logo at the bottom, not a loop or anything here, so really just the logo. And then with the CTB20, you have the dual external water bottle pockets, which is always one of the biggest selling points for this bag, as they are super well implemented. They offer a lot of capacity. They stretch nicely. The material feels very durable. With the Transit Workpack, you have zippered compartments on the side, which I'll take a closer look at later in the video. So you don't have a traditional water bottle pocket per se. And so if you want the external pockets, the CTB might have a little bit of an edge, but if you don't carry a water bottle, as we'll see later in the video, then the Transit Workpack's layout may actually be a benefit. And then the CTB20 also has a side handle, which is really nice, particularly with the luggage pass-through that it has. And you also have a handle at the top. And so these feel durable. And then you have an attachment point here, so you can clip on a carabiner. With the Transit Workpack, you also have a really nice handle at the top. I love Bellroy's implementation of these. They have just a really nice premium material here. It feels slightly more comfortable just because the Evergoods bag have that slightly sharper edge, and the material here just feels slightly softer. But you don't have a side handle on the Transit Workpack Pro, which I was pretty sad to see, as I do find them quite useful, particularly since this also has the luggage pass-through. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but you know, good functionality along the exterior. And then as far as how well these stand up on their own, I've had a pretty good experience with the CTB20 when it's loaded out. It typically is able to kind of stay in place so that I can access the compartments comfortably. The Bellroy Transit Workpack, however, tends to lean forward quite a bit, so it doesn't really stand up too well on its own. And then taking a look at the capacity, as the name implies, the CTB20 comes in at about 20 liters, and then the Transit Workpack Pro that I have here is listed at about 22 liters. So both of these are a really great size for everyday carry. I was able to hold all the items that I typically have with me, and they don't feel overwhelmingly big or bulky for carrying around for longer periods of time. This is also a size that's going to be great for carrying onto a variety of domestic and international airlines. Now, how they compare to each other, to me, even though the CTB20 is listed at the smaller 20 liters, it feels a little bit bulkier and like it can hold slightly more stuff. I don't know if it's the depth, the width, but it just, feels a little bit bigger when I'm wearing it than the Transit Workpack does. Now, the silhouette is also different. The CTB has kind of a boxier shape, whereas the Transit Workpack has the more rounded, sleeker silhouette. So, just something to keep in mind, but both of them I think are just a really versatile size that I've enjoyed using across a number of environments and situations. Continuing with the harness systems, both bags have been really comfortable to wear. With Evergoods, you have a similar harness to what they've been using for a while across many of their bags. So pretty good padding on the straps. They have that new backing on the back panel and the straps that is more breathable than their previous iterations. You have a sternum strap. You also have the contouring on the shoulders, which I'm a big fan of. Now, with Evergoods' harnesses, of course, it could always be a little bit of a mixed experience depending on your height. Some people have issues with the bottom of the bag digging into their lower backs. I haven't had issues with their bags, thankfully, but something to keep in mind. With the Transit Workpack Pro, this is a new harness that Bellroy implemented with the release of this line, and I have been a big fan of it. I love how robust the padding is on the straps. It has a nice breathable fabric on the back. The padding is also very comfortable, well distributed. You have a nice bit of elevation here, and so both of these are going to be comfortable to wear. I do have to give slight edge to the Bellroy implementation here, as it just sort of matches up with my typical preferences. You also have the magnetic buckle with the sternum strap, and then they both also have a luggage pass-through, which is really helpful for a bag like this that you might be using as a personal item to pair with a roller bag. So great to see that here. I do think that the Evergoods implementation is a little bit better here. First off, with the space, it just feels a little bit easier to get the bag on and off a suitcase. And this is where the side handle really comes into play, because you can really grab it by the side handle, rest it here, pull it off. It's all a very seamless experience. With the Transit Workpack, you have a really great luggage pass-through, but putting it onto that, you kind of have to hold the bag by the top, by the bottom, by the side. There's no handle to really help you with that. It's not quite as seamless of an experience, so glad to have it, but again, I really would have liked to have seen the side handle on the Transit Workpack. Jumping into the organizational options, both bags offer a really nice variety of pockets all throughout. I've talked many times about how much I like the layout on the CTB line, but the Transit Workpack Pro really offers an impressive layout on its own. So as far as quick access, the CTB has this zippered compartment on the front that has some internal organization. You have the mesh zippered pocket, a couple of slip pockets, a place for pen, multi-tool. You have a good bit of depth here, so you can also put notebook, tablet. You have a little lanyard with a keychain. So very useful quick access pocket there. And then you also have this magical pocket here on the front, which has a really impressive amount of volume, very easy to reach while you're in transit or throughout the day. It can hold something like Evergoods' Civic Access pouch, ½ liter. And so really useful there. And you also have the quick access pocket at the top, which again, just impressive volume. I'm always impressed with how Evergoods is able to give each of these compartments their own independent volume, make them very easy to use. Here at the top, I have my sunglasses with their case. There was still some leftover capacity. So each of these compartments is just super useful, functional. With the Transit Workpack Pro, the layout is of course a little bit different. You still have a nice quick access pocket on the front that offers a good bit of depth. So you can use it to store something like a pouch or other sort of larger accessories that you want to be able to reach easily during the day. And then you have this zippered pocket at the top that has kind of this soft material here, which is really nice. It can hold glasses, or in my case, I have AirPods, headlamp. I tried to distribute the items between the two bags. And then you do have some internal organization here, simple slip pocket where I have a charging cable, a couple of slots for a pen, flashlight. And what's interesting about this pocket is that it kind of combines the front zippered pocket of the CTB20 and this other one here at the top. So it's kind of just throw them all together into one large section, whereas this is separated. So again, I was kind of surprised as I put these side by side, because I thought this layout was really going to run away with it. And in some ways I still prefer the CTB layout, but it's really interesting how the combination here also achieves similar sort of ends, which is really cool. And then coming back to the side pockets on the Transit Workpack Pro, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, this doesn't have external water bottle pockets in the same way that the CTB has, but you do have pockets on the side that have a zipper. And so this is gonna be great for holding, you know, just items that you might not normally want to put in something like an external water bottle pocket. So in my case, I actually have my sunglasses here because this compartment does offer some volume. It's also got a well-protected zipper, so you can use it for charging cables or other accessories. And I have been able to fit smaller water bottles and umbrellas here if I need to. So this is sort of the water bottle pocket, but you do have the ability to zip it closed. So in some ways it can provide some added versatility, but it's not gonna be able to hold the same size water bottle as the ones on the CTB. So depending on what you carry, that could be a pro or a con. And then on the other side, you have a zippered kind of hidden pocket here that has a lanyard with a clip for your keys, anything you want to reach more quickly. And then you also have just the added sort of compartment here that you can use to store extra stuff. So again, not an external water bottle pocket, but still offers some storage capacity, which can be helpful. And then taking a look at the laptop areas, both offer really great laptop protection. Again, pretty different in how they implement it. With the CTB, you have the side access to the laptop compartment. With the large zipper, you have the padded sleeve that's suspended. You have the ability to secure it with this Velcro strap if you want to. And then you also have a good bit of space on the inside here so that you can store documents, folders, maybe a tablet. And so nice to have that added functionality there. You can also store water bladder in certain areas throughout the CTB. I forgot to call that out earlier, but you do have a pass through here through the straps. So that's another nice bonus. And then one thing that I really love about the CTB, coming back to the luggage pass through the handle, is that the laptop compartment works well with the orientation that everything is in. So you can pick up by the side handle, access your device, put it on your luggage, and then you can reach your laptop while you're going through TSA. Everything works seamlessly. And then as far as the laptop compartment on the Transit Workpack, this is a top loading compartment, so different orientation. I do think that it's well implemented. This is suspended. It's gonna offer a nice amount of padding and doesn't feel quite as spacious as the one on the CTB. I was able to fit my 14-inch MacBook Pro here comfortably. I'm sure a 15-inch would probably fit. Maybe a 16 would be a little bit tighter, but I think you could probably squeeze it in there. Regardless, it offers a good amount of protection now because of the orientation here. If you're using this with the luggage pass-through, it becomes a little bit more awkward to get your laptop in and out. So you gotta take it off, make sure that the bag is facing upward, grab your laptop, put it back on. So all of that is just something you really don't wanna have to deal with when you're traveling if you can avoid it. So, something that would be great to see improved in future iterations of the Transit Workpack. Bellroy even had the Venture Travel Pack, which actually had a luggage pass-through with the other orientation, which I really liked. So just, little things to keep in mind. But if you prefer a laptop compartment that is vertically oriented, or if you're just not using this with a roller bag that much, then this is also a really great implementation. You again have the well-protected zipper here. And on this laptop compartment, you actually have sort of an integrated tech area. I would say this almost is the equivalent of the top quick access pocket on the CTB, only it's inside. So it's kind of combined. Again, another theme with the Bellroy bag, combining some of the areas that are separate on the CTB. So this place is gonna offer enough capacity for something like a charging brick with cables and such. I've also placed my sunglasses in here sometimes. And then moving into the main compartment, both of these open up clamshell style, which is great for easier packing and visibility. So starting off with the CTB, here I currently have this loaded out for minimal travel. So I have an extra pair of shoes in a packing cube. I have my Air Dop kit, and then I have my Peak Design compressible packing cube. And so I'll kind of swap the loadouts here in a second so you can get a sense of the capacity differences. Before doing so, as far as the layout on the CTB, you have a slip pocket on the inside with a nice material here. It's elastic, so it'll adapt to a variety of items. If you want to store a jacket, some shoes, maybe even a tablet, put it back there to keep it separate from the other items in the main area. And then you have additional pocketing on the lid. So you have a zipper pocket at the top with a couple of internal slip pockets. Good bit of volume here, continuing the theme with the rest of this bag. And then you have the larger mesh zippered pocket, which is just impressive in how it's able to handle something a little bit thicker. I've used this to store a jacket, pouches. This has been almost a makeshift packing cube when I've been using it for travel. And because of the orientation here, it's great that you can reach it without opening the bag all the way up. And it's great that it's on the side with the side handle. So very, very well thought out layout here. And then coming over to the Transit Workpack, opening this up, as I was saying, they are both clamshell style bags. You can get here a look at my daily carry loadout. So I have kind of the modular setup here with my Beats Studio wireless headphones. I have the Lockbee pouch that I typically carry with me now. I have the Evergoods Civic Access pouch 1/2 liter, a different color. And then I also have the Evergoods Civic Access pouch 1 liter and 2 liter. So I'll put this on here. You can see that it fits about the same as it did in the Transit Workpack. So pretty similar capacities there. Coming over to the layout on this side, you have a little bit of a difference with the internal compression strap. So you have this magnetic buckle here. This is, more sort of a travel focused feature. You can use this to help pull down a packing cube or some items. I honestly don't use this very much. I typically just leave it clipped. It stays out of the way. And then a nice feature with Bellroy newer bags is that you have this little air tag holder here, which is really helpful. It's hidden. And then, pretty simple layout here, but open enough to handle a similar minimal travel setup as what I had in the CTB. So here I have the Peak Design packing cube. I have the Air Dop kit, and then the additional pair of shoes. And that's still able to fit in here pretty comfortably, but it does feel a little tighter than it did on the CTB. So this is what I was saying earlier, where even though this is listed at 22 liters, the way that the space is distributed in the CTB just feels a little bit larger. And you can see it here with how these items, kind of stack up against each other. Now, this fits in here. There's still some leftover space. So I think they're pretty close, but it just feels slightly tighter here. You still do have the volume from this front compartment that can hold additional items, which would also be the case with the Evergoods bag. So you have that extra space, you have the volume on the sides as well, but this one, as you fill each area up, it just gets a little bit tighter and tighter, and the space isn't quite distributed in the way that the CTB is able to do so. But still really great capacity. Both of these, you can zip them up. I've used either for quick trips or for days at the office or out and about exploring, and capacity wise I haven't really had too much of an issue. And so coming back to the pricing, which is probably the last thing to talk about, both of these come in at over $200, so they are more premium priced bags. Definitely an investment. The CTB comes in at about $259, I believe. The Transit Workpack Pro, I believe, is in a similar range. Both feel like they offer a lot of value for their price point. So if you have the budget, I think either one is going to be a good investment. And so as far as which of these I would recommend, I think that it's going to come down to a few different factors that I talked about throughout the video. The aesthetic is going to be an important one. So if you're looking for something, again, that's more maybe office friendly, that's got a more modern, sleeker look, if you're wearing nicer outfits on a day-to-day, I feel like Bellroy's aesthetic just matches up better with that vibe. I don't think the CTB looks bad by any means. This is one of my favorite bags aesthetically, but it just feels like it's not quite as sleek. And then if you are conversely going into the outdoors looking for something that's more rugged, that maybe draws a little less attention to itself, I do think the CTB might be the better option there. And then as far as the harnesses, definitely keep an eye out as far as your height and how the Evergoods back panel might dig into your back. Maybe it doesn't, so just make sure to kind of try that out carefully. I think Bellroy's harness will probably be a more consistent experience for more people. And I just really like the padding and the breathability that it offers. Both of them are good, but again, I would lean slightly towards the Bellroy if you like kind of a more traditional back panel. And then as far as the layout, there's some differences in the pocketing. If you want the external water bottle pockets, of course, no contest. The CTB has those, whereas Bellroy has the zippered pocket alternatives. And if the layout, I do give an edge to the CTB just because of how cohesive everything is as far as the handle, the luggage pass-through, the laptop compartment, and also how the space is distributed across the pockets, with each compartment having its own independent volume comfortably. The layout on the Bellroy bag is also excellent. It's, you know, surprising how close they ended up being once I put them side by side, but I just feel like for me, and being so used to, you know, having my loadout with the CTB lineup, it's something that I'm comfortable with. And again, I really like the volume independence for each of the compartments. But both of them are going to offer a nice variety of pockets, really great build quality, and so hopefully those factors can help determine which one is going to be the right one for you a little bit better. And so that's it. Those are some of the similarities and differences between the Evergoods CTB20 and the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions on anything that I covered in the video or suggestions for similar bags that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make sure to include links in the description below to the dedicated reviews that I've done for each of these bags, as well as to the other comparison videos that I've done as part of this series, where I've compared bags from Evergoods and Bellroy against bags from Air, GoRuck, Alpha 19er. There's a couple of different options that I recommend checking out. I'll also include links to the roundup videos that I've done, where I shared my favorite one bag travel options and everyday carry backpacks of the past year. And if you have ideas for other roundup videos or comparisons that you'd like to see, definitely let me know about those as well. And I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.